Thanks again for the people online. Thanks for coming to the closing ceremony for ICOET 2025 here in Denver, Colorado. And I, like Lady Gaga, will say that this is the best show ever. You guys are the best audience ever been to this year. Anyway, I think it's been the best ICOET. We were packed, 6 parallel sessions, 650 something people, and 270 contributed, et cetera, et cetera. So it was very successful. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for coming. I'm going to whip through how we keep our seemingly high registration fees lower than they would be otherwise. And the big thanks goes to the following. So the pooled fund study, these are the state agencies that contributed to the pooled fund study to support ICOET. This is critical. It not only shows support among the states, but it also is a backstop for loss of federal funding. So this has been really important for being able to run ICOET. And the next pooled fund study is going to open up this summer. So hopefully a lot of you will be able to take advantage of that and help us run ICOET 2027. Being a pooled fund study member allows you to have comped registrations and participate in a technical advisory committee for the conference. I want to thank the state of Colorado agency members who have been helping us out, and they're invaluable help, both in terms of sponsorship, which means funding, but also in running the field trips. And hopefully a lot of you had good time on the field trips. There's a link on the ICOET.net website, which I don't know what it is, even though it's our website. But somewhere on there, there's a link to the field trip photos. And we're also going to ask for you to contribute field trip photos, but there's already some up there if you want to check it out and see the snow, see Alex Levy posing as Santa in the snow, and a variety of other pictures there. But thanks to Colorado Parks and Wildlife and to DOT for their amazing work getting ICOET 2025 going. All right, I can't see all of the details here, but oh, and then AASHTO, for a lot of you are state DOTs know that they were really critical in getting a lot of state DOT people here in person. And that was really, they volunteered that assistance. And the Center for Environmental Excellence does a lot of this kind of support. And they were a critical partner with us, not only because of the money part, but also it's that partnership with AASHTO. And so thanks to AASHTO, we're going to have a couple of people from AASHTO come up in a moment from a different part of AASHTO. Thanks to all of our private sponsors, Jacobs, a platinum sponsor, Parametrics, a gold sponsor, and then a nice long list of silver sponsors and bronze sponsors. I'm just going to flip through them. And thanks to all of them, Kramer and Pew Charitable Trusts, National Wildlife Federation, whose name is down there at the bottom because the thing they really like is the Wallace-Sandberg Wildlife Crossing. Now, I've been told that we can't call this the biggest wildlife crossing in the world anymore. It's going to have to be or the US, it's going to have to be the biggest wildlife crossing on the west side of the Rockies, because I-25 wants to be the biggest wildlife crossing on the east side of the Rockies. Thanks to Stantec, HDR, Mark Thomas, and then a whole bunch of bronze sponsors. I'm going to flip slowly through them. Contact, Dudek, Urtech, Crosstech. You guys need to work on the back half of your acronyms. Atkins, Realis, TRC, Aztec, and this is especially in memory of Norris Dodd, who some of you know, maybe many of you know, one of the nicest transportation ecology, or at least wildlife crossing and roadkill person that I've met. Nicer than me, certainly, which is not terribly difficult to do, but very, very wonderful person. Wildlands Network, which they had 11 of their 30 staff here, which I think was quite an accomplishment for us and for them. WSP. And then we had a whole bunch of exhibitors. This is the most private sponsors and exhibitors we've ever had. Exhibitors are a class of sponsorship, so we obviously had other people actually have exhibitor booths as well. And then contributors from a variety of organizations and companies. Okay, I just want to show you our photo contest winner. And this is a good reminder to me, Kristen Salamak, I need to give you the prize that Steve Mars won, but wanted to give to you. So I'm glad to see you there. So I'm just going to run this little video for those who didn't see it. This is the winning video in the photo and video contest. the halt camera and burrowing owls, which apparently go into culverts and prey on the small rodents for which the culverts are built, which is an interesting predator-prey interaction within a structure. Okay, so some of you contributed to Slido. It's the platform we use for our questions during the conference. It was a bit experimental, but this is the word salad we got, which I think is a formal term for that cloud of words, which I've forgotten. But this is the words that you guys used when you responded to Slido according to frequency. So you can see what people are interested in, that at least the things that they said they were interested in. We had a couple of other Slido responses, and we'll share these after the conference. I'm just giving you an idea of what the responses were. So these are the where people say what organization they're from. These are the organization types. And what are the things you're interested in? I should have brought my glasses. Thank you, Eugene. Okay, just as a couple of follow-up things. We're going to have a follow-up survey that'll go out to everybody. Our response rate is the highest among conferences that ITS organizes. They organize a lot of transportation conferences and workshops globally, and ICOET is by far the highest response rate, so please help keep that up. We're also going to share the presentation materials and recordings for those that you missed. So if there's sessions you missed, which obviously you missed every day, you missed some sessions, you'll be able to catch up. All right. That's it. I forgot where it was ending. Next up, Chris Lessar, our conference chair and our soon-to-be emeritus conference chair, is going to close us out. And then we have some people from AASHTO and WashDOT and Oregon. I'm not sure why the WashDOT and Oregon people are going to be here, but we'll find out. Chris Lessar from VTrans. Thank you. You don't miss them.
No, thanks. Thanks, Fraser. Did everybody have a good conference? I sure did. You know, the older I get, the more young people there are, which is kind of a fact of math. But the number of young people and newcomers to ICOET this year has been outstanding. And so thank you to all of those new ICOET followers. We're looking forward to you coming back again and again and again and taking this work to the next level. Thinking back to previous ICOETs and reflecting on the information shared here in the last 4 days, I'm struck by how far this collective group of minds has taken the discipline of road ecology. Many of the concepts that once seemed new, experimental, even fringe, are now mainstream solutions which are part of our collective toolkit. Thanks in large part to ICOET. One of the recurrent themes throughout the conference this year has been the need for us to communicate beyond this community of practice and reach the engineers, the legislators, corner office types, and the general public, and share the message that transportation, linear infrastructure in the natural world can coexist. That communication took a giant leap with the publication of Ben Goldfarb's phenomenal book, Crossings. And I challenge you all, as you continue with your great work, to make that outward communication part of your agendas. I don't want to be too negative, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that we are doing this work in unprecedented times, where science is under attack and important programs are getting eviscerated. Many of us are running on fumes, especially our federal partners and academics who are losing funding. And so it's more important than ever to stick together as a community of practice and continue this work that we're all so proud of. Which brings us back to our conference theme, Bridging Divides Through Collaboration. Together, we're doing work and producing a combined effect greater than the sum of our separate individual parts and inspiring each other to take this discipline to next levels. While we're all at different places on the road to sustainable linear infrastructure, we share the same goals. And thanks to the Forum of ICOET, we inspire and support each other in our individual journeys towards a more sustainable future. We will build on each other's great work and implement and expand on what we've learned at ICOET. I'd like to thank and recognize the individuals and organizations that helped make this conference a success. Thank you so much to the Colorado team, led by Kristen Salamak and Michelle Kawarden, for hosting us in your amazingly beautiful and progressive state. Thank you again to our conference sponsors for making ICOET 2025 happen. Thank you to AASHTO for their generous support. Thank you to the conference steering committee and the program committee and the awards committee. And thank you to the outstanding team from UC Davis, led by Fraser Schilling. And including the great Eugene Murray. Thank you, presenters. Thank you for your participation and making ICOET 2025 a success. And thank you for the privilege of allowing me to serve as ICOET chair for 2023 and 2025. It has been the honor of my career. And thanks to those of you pushing this work forward. If you're interested in getting more involved with ICOET, please reach out to Kimberly Andrews, Chris Goodson, and/or Fraser Schilling. I'm thrilled to pass the conference chair to the extraordinary, speaking of Kimberly and Chris, I'm thrilled to pass the conference chair to the extraordinarily capable, smart, and funny duo of Kimberly Andrews and Chris Goodson. And stepping into the PC program committee chair roles are Tom Langen and Kristen Salamak. The work of the ICOET Steering Committee and conference organizer does not stop here. We don't skip a beat, and we will be meeting in about a month to start planning for ICOET 2027 in Portland, Oregon. And I would like to now invite representatives from AASHTO to the podium, Alyssa Barrett and Amy Golden.
Good afternoon, right? Good afternoon or morning, wherever you're coming from. A little less polished, hard to follow Chris, but we did want to come up here and offer our gratitude as well as share a couple of closing thoughts from AASHTO's perspective. So we do, to echo the thanks that we just heard, we wanted to thank the ICOET planning team, AASHTO, and really all of you for the opportunity to partner with ICOET 2025. We're looking forward to 2027, hopefully another opportunity to partner into the future. So to share a couple of my closing thoughts before I turn it over to Amy, over the last week, it has been so inspiring to learn from and to engage with so many leaders, current experts, growing experts in this field. It has just been truly incredible. I'm so excited to bring home the ideas, the information that I've gathered over the last week to my home state of Wisconsin, and to continue to push this within my home state and my region. And I'd encourage all of you to do the same, to continue to be a champion within your locale, your field, to keep pushing this message forward. I think especially, as Chris said, in these unprecedented times, we got to keep doing this good work to push this mission further. So with that, the last, I guess, takeaway that I wanted to share was the partnerships. I think that was something that I got. It's in the conference essentially title or mission, but the key takeaway that we had heard throughout all of the different conversations and sessions that we are a part of. So the partnerships, just it's such a huge component, from the opportunity to learn from each other, to engage with each other, to lean on each other's diverse expertise and experience in this space, that we and the species that we love, that we care for, need us to continue to work together today, tomorrow, into the future, to be successful and to really extend our reach in this community and in this field. So again, to encourage you all to continue to build and to foster the relationships you gained here, whether it was karaoke or, maybe formal conversations, to carry those relationships, continue to foster those as you move on through this week, this year, and into the future. So maybe before I close, turn it over to you, Amy.
Thank you, Alyssa. Great summary. Just a couple more points that I wanted, key takeaways, couple points. Yes, we applaud the work that everyone's doing. It's amazing. Very inspired. This is my first ICOET, so super happy and thrilled to be here. Let's keep the momentum moving. I think that's kind of one of my key takeaways is there's always a lot of great energy and positive vibes and information, just tons of professionals here. So it's easy to get home and just get into the work grind and just, lose track of what you're trying to accomplish and keeping the energy moving along. But a special thank you to Mackenzie Bennett and Mia Richards with AASHTO. They were here kind of helping us support and facilitate a lot of the AASHTO stuff that we're doing through CES Committee on Environment and Sustainability. Thank you to those ladies. I think we had 35 state DOTs registered. I'm not sure if everyone made it from all 35 states, but that's an impressive group of people. I mean, there's so much knowledge and expertise in that group itself. So look forward to partnering with ICOET team in 2027 and any way AASHTO can help. We look forward to working with everyone. But just, I guess, one actionable item that I'm taking home, I think in my point about, carrying the momentum and the energy. I think, there's so many great discussions around corridors and connectivity. I was thinking with AASHTO CES of setting up a wildlife crossing policy and implementation workshop through AASHTO CES. I think we do a lot of focused short phone calls, great phone calls, but more of workshops or a series of workshops so we can bring everybody back together and just keep this moving along. What are our data gaps? I think a lot of us have the same challenges in this work. So, and then I always ask who's missing from the conversation. And I know a lot of, we all have an environmental background, but engineers, I'd like to invite engineers. Raise your hand if you're an engineer in the room. Awesome. So yeah, I applaud get that. Just bridging the gap between environmental and engineering, design engineers is a good path forward, I think. So that's about it. Just think about how Alyssa and I can help and AASHTO and how we can help keep this group moving forward. So thanks, everybody.
So moving into the future, we have two Pacific Northwest states that are partnering to bring us ICOET 2027, and that's Washington DOT and Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. And I'd like to introduce from Washington DOT, Jeff Dreyer, and is Rachel Wheat from Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife here? Oh, Rachel. Okay, Rachel and Jeff Dreyer.
Everybody hear me okay? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Fraser said this is the greatest ICOET ever. So that means we have a lot of work to do. It's going to be a challenge, but we're really looking forward to it. And we're very excited about it. I've already got people at least at WashDOT that are raising their hands, volunteer to help out. So it's going to be really fun putting the team together. We are really looking forward to it. This has been a great educational experience for us as well. We've had the fortune to sit in on meetings that CDOT's been holding to kind of catch up and see what they're doing, how they're preparing for this, what their roles and responsibilities are. So we're very fortunate that we were able to participate and listen in on those meetings. That we learned a lot. Okay, for those of you in our international friends, if you're not sure about Pacific Northwest geography, Portland is right there at the yellow star. And it's a pretty diverse area. Lots of great geological features, lots of wildlife. lots of great scenery. It's a great place to visit. I'm starting to sound like a tour guide. But I do want to play one video, the Portland video.
Just northwest of the everyday, there's a place perfectly equipped for people and possibilities to come together. You can plan on it. Because when you show up to our city will show up for you. You can plan on a sustainable conference at a convention center that's LEED Platinum with forward-thinking practices. You can plan on finding a foodie's paradise around every corner with options that outnumber appetites. From big brand hotels to unique boutiques, you can plan on over 10,000 rooms in the city center. And with no sales tax, you can plan on your budget going further, on everything from banquets to bar tabs. And after a well-planned day, you can trust there will be plenty of nearby options for unscheduled moments and unforgettable connections. Plan on Portland.
Jellyfish Lighting is an all-in-one permanent exterior lighting system. Through an app on your phone, you are able to decorate for all holidays like Christmas, Halloween, Easter, and 4th of July, as well as set nightly programs to turn on and off from sunset to sunrise, or customize static times. The color of your Jellyfish Lighting system is matched to the color of your home, so it is discreet from the street.
For the last 9 years, I've been scaling this roof, putting up Christmas lights, risking my life. And ever since we saw Jellyfish Lighting, this has been the answer to a lot of our challenges. My wife loves the holidays. She loves the ability to customize the lights. And for me, I no longer have to worry about getting up and down off the roof. So we really enjoyed the installation process.
That's what he's trying to do.
This-
Just can't see it.
This doesn't count towards 27.
Virtual hybrid's not easy.
Okay, like I was saying, location, looks like it's going to be in Portland. Right across the Columbia River is Vancouver, Washington. We are starting our meetings this summer. There's a lot of interest, excitement, like I mentioned. We've already started brainstorming field trips already. So these aren't for certain, but there's a lot of great ideas floating around, and there's still more to come. But the snow quality pass, that wildlife processing structure is very popular. We have other habitat connectivity projects as well. And then, so a big focus for WashDOT is going to be our Southwest region. So there's a lot of things to see in that area. They've got a lot of projects going on as well. And ODOT undoubtedly will have lots of projects to share and provide possible field trips. Columbia River Gorge is a great scenic area. It's a national scenic area. So there's lots of features in that area, like Beacon Rock State Park, that top photo. We're probably within a couple hours of coastal areas. So those who want to see the Pacific Ocean, there's an opportunity for that. And of course, Mount St. Helens. So that's probably within a couple hours of Portland. So, and don't forget, we are going to celebrate on Sunday. That's Mount St. Helens eruption anniversary. So 45 years. Okay.
So we're super excited to welcome you all to Portland. The dress code will be flannel. And despite some of the news that you may have heard across the past couple of years, Portland has not burned to the ground. It is still a fun and vibrant city. And as Jeff mentioned, we're already starting to brainstorm potential field trips and things to share with you all when you come. And I'm always awed and a little intimidated at these conferences to hear about the tremendous work that's going on, like Colorado with more than 70 wildlife crossing structures and the great work going up in Washington on Snoqualmie Pass. In Oregon, we're a little bit behind our peers. So we only have 6 purpose-built wildlife crossing structures in Oregon, which is one of the reasons that we're teaming with Washington to help spread that out, since Washington obviously has a lot of great work going on. And aside from our newest crossing structure, which you may have seen at the poster presentation earlier, our new frog crossing, none of our crossings are particularly close to Portland. So depending on your appetite for longer bus trips, we may not be able to share as many of our crossing structures with you. However, despite that, we still feel that Portland has a lot to offer, including, first and foremost, the beautiful Willamette River. The city is located right on the Willamette, very close to the Columbia River as well. For you bridge nerds out there, there are 12 bridges spanning the Willamette River, and you'll all have an opportunity to practice the correct pronunciation of Willamette. Other fun things Portland may have to offer for you are sightings of things like giant dinosaur fish, a variety of things that help keep Portland weird, like the Portland Unipiper, and the very occasional sighting of a friendly neighborhood wolverine. And despite our low number of wildlife crossing structures on our state highway system, we do have actually several crossing structures that have been completed on privately managed or municipal roads that are in and around the Portland region. So one of the things we do hope to share is some of these more urban crossing structures with you. And of course, much, much more. So we're very much looking forward to having you all join us in 2027.
Yeah, working with Oregon is going to be a great opportunity, and I think we're going to have a pretty good team to bring a great ICOET 2027 to Portland. So Mount Rainier, like I mentioned. Okay, road ecology topics in the Pacific Northwest, pretty similar to what's been discussed at all ICOETs. There's a little bit of different nuance here, but of course, habitat connectivity will be one of the top ones. Stormwater is developing. We've got a lot of issues with 6-PPD quinone, which we had a presentation and a poster on here at this conference. ESA compliance, that's kind of, we don't know where that's going yet. Federal changes, there's going to be a lot of interesting news on how we're going to respond to those, whatever they may be. So there's a lot of unknowns, there's uncertainties in the future that we're going to be responding to. So perhaps some of our responses will help other DOTs across the state, across the nation. Fish passage continues and will be the dominant activity that WashDOT's involved with in the next few years. I do have a video of an example of one of our projects coming up. And there's going to be more. There's going to be more different topics coming up between now and then. This is just a smattering of them, but every ICOET has a great variety of presentations of different types of topics that apply to everybody. I learned a great deal about some topics, especially the bats today. It was very interesting. I saw opportunities for WashDOT to actually start to implement some of these things, and actually I really want to push the agency into adopting some of these things I've learned. So anyway, that's going to be developing, and I think we'll go ahead and start showing these videos. This is the Chico Creek video. Two good news. This is a good news video, and then the next one obviously will be as well. All right. I think the tribe estimated about 800,000 chum salmon came up that year. The banks were, I don't have photos of it. I've seen photos of it, but the banks of that stream were just, once the fish had spawned and died, they were just stacked up on both sides of the stream.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think that's the end of our 2025 ICOET conference. Happy trails, safe travels, and looking forward to seeing everybody again.